Hi Libra, welcome to your beginning of April read. I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Thank you so much for joining me. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Guys, thank you so much for all the beautiful well wishes and condolences that you guys left me regarding the passing of my mother-in-law. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get into this. Now, guys, remember, these are general messages. Don't try to make it fit. If it's not your message this time, maybe we get you next time. You want to check your rising sun, moon, sign, and Venus for the most complete message. And remember, there's no possible way we can, in general messages, account for your personal birth chart and your personal transits right now. So you want to treat this more like a weather report, right? Okay, so we're going to start with career / money. So it doesn't have to do with a job. It could have to do with a legal settlement, some sort of lawsuit, some sort of inheritance, insurance payout, anything having to do with buying a home, selling a home, any sort of property, anything where there's an exchange of money, because you're all in different places. Okay, so we have the idea of imagine here as a crowning energy. Yeah, think it into existence, my friends. I know a lot of times it's hard to kind of swallow, especially when things seem a little upside down and crooked, but it's so important for you to have a clear image in your head of what it is that you want for yourself regarding your career. What do you see for yourself as the outcome of whatever situation that you're engaged in right now regarding money? Bring love into the situation. New Moon in Aquarius, and the New Moon in Aquarius has to do with friends. Is a very it's the energy of the humanitarian, so it has to do with friends. It also has to do with technology. The new moon in Aquarius, rather, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So I'm feeling like for a lot of you, it's very important that you first of all stay very focused. Remember, thoughts become things, so have a very clear idea of an outcome that you want, and you want to ask your friends or people that you care about for help right now. Anybody who you know who could possibly help you out in a particular situation, having to do with a legal matter, having to do with a business, having to do with a career move. Leaning into you and leaning into and onto your friends right now is going to be very, very helpful. Also, whatever it is that you're doing right now, you want to make sure if this is resonating with you as far as a career goes, what do you really love? Make sure you really, really love to do it as far as moving forward into something. And you're not just doing it for the paycheck, Okay. So we have the Six of Swords coming into this energy. So some of you may have sort of checked out of a situation already that you're in. Now, again, your job itself, your career could be fine right now. This might have to do with maybe the finances within your relationship, within your marriage, within a family situation, something like that. So the Six of Swords is detachment, right? It's moving on. And again, this may manifest mentally rather than physically at first anyway. So this is about detachment, stepping away from something, allowing some space to do some figuring out, to do some internal work. Some of you, this may be literal travel. So this could even be maybe you're traveling to actually move, right? You're trying to locate a new place that you want to live in, or traveling to a new place to work, or anything like that. Some of you may simply be sort of done doing what you're doing, checking out of whatever career you're in right now, kind of just saying, no, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Some of you detaching from some sort of financial agreement that you have in a situation, be it a marriage, a partnership, whatever it is. Very focused on the future right now. Absolutely. Three of Wands. It's a good energy, it's one of the good fortune cards. This indicates a thriving business, very busy, intense period. This is an indicator for a really important relationship to come into your life. You moving on to realize these plans, right, that you have in your mind's eye. And you might be dealing with either very unconventional people or... Yeah, look at that. Bring love, new moon in Aquarius. Very unconventional people, something very different, unique to what you're doing. Taking what you're doing and putting a unique spin on it. There's some sort of unique approach to some sort of financial situation. Something that's out of the ordinary. Something that's not run of the mill. But there are other people involved in this with you, Libra. Three of Wands is not like there is somebody or a group of people who is sort of calling you forth, saying, come on this way, come on this path with me, or come on this path with us and do A, B, and C over here. So it's kind of turning your back on whatever it is that you were in the past, possibly even what you're in now. We do have this working with the Nine of Wands though. So I feel like some of you are confused because you want to go in a different direction, but you still have, it's like you've been putting a lot of energy and a lot of focus and a lot of work into one particular either business, path, project, something like that, right? You're tired. You are going to have the perseverance to see it through. This is temporary right now. You may be feeling kind of despondent, kind of weakened, feeling defensive, really likely right now. So because you're feeling defensive and you're feeling sort of like beat down by a particular situation, your release valve is to think about the future. Your release valve is to think about other than where your feet are right now. But you don't want to get sucked into that kind of black hole of negativity. You want to be super careful of that because it's easy to happen in this energy. Balance is the key here, because remember, we have Nine of Wands. What comes after this is Ten of Wands, and that's the card of overload and overwhelm, right? This is a good energy though. It's going to be met with success as long as you maintain balance and a careful approach. So we have the Four of Cups in reverse as the crowning. So this is just a new outlook, a new direction, some sort of new option. You're thinking new. Now I do want to mention that as far as the astrology goes, this particular week, you have a lot popping in your 7th house, Libra. You have Mercury is moving into Aries on the 3rd or the 4th. It depends on where you live, but it's going to be hanging out in there with the Sun, with Venus, with Chiron. Chiron's all about healing. Venus is a money planet, and it's also a very creative energy, but we have to talk about this because the 7th house is your home. Venus rules you. So you're going to be feeling this very strong because the Sun is going to be in there. There's going to be a lot of focus on this area for you. Now, what is the 7th house? 7th house is the house of partnerships. So any sort of business partnership that you have, but this could also be if there's a financial situation going on that's connected to your marriage as well. Okay, so it could resonate with you like that. But you have this very incredibly strong energy happening in that sector. Now, you have a couple of squares going on. So this is going to be square in the 10th house of career and the 4th house of home. So I feel like whatever's going on here, there is this tension with the money that you make or the idea of money with your career. Maybe you own a business or something like that, or the money that you're making is being looked at regarding some sort of relationship. And we have this also working with the 4th house of home. So if you're married, to me, this energy really does, this particular square does indicate tension. And we need squares. Squares are not so bad, right? We need squares in order to motivate us to make change. If we didn't have squares, we wouldn't do anything. You have a couple of sextile and trining energies, which is nice. I do see you sort of thinking about romance in a different way. You're thinking about your 5-year plan in a different way. You're thinking other than where you are right now, Libra. You really do. We have that 7th and 11th house energy going on. 7th and 5th is going to be sextiling. So I feel like there is going to be this focus on something different, and you just really wanting to move forward, just in a new direction. We have the 3 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. Oh my gosh, and then we have the 6 of Cups. Look at this. So foundation energy, nostalgia, harmony, the past, but reconnecting with maybe old colleagues, something that you used to do. For many of you, if you're resonating with this as like the dissolution of a marriage and it's going to be inflecting your money, this could indicate, getting back with somebody from your past, and that ending up sort of impacting your financial situation right now. Okay, but it is about finding the right balance in relationship. And if you've suffered any kind of mistreatment, things are getting better for you. Now, it's going to be something different for each of you. Maybe it's working things out with the person that you're with. For others of you, it's going to be moving away from the person that you're with, maybe moving into something with somebody from the past. Some of you are going to resonate with it like that. This could also mean going back to maybe being business partners, being in partnership with somebody business-wise, right, that you were once connected with. This could be also returning to something that you used to do, maybe picking up that book that you started or that project that you started once upon a time, or that field of study, whatever it is. But it's a hearkening back to the past. Now, we have the Knight of Cups energy as you. So you're just really all about wanting to feel good. I mean, this is you proposing something. It's a very emotional time right now for you. There's no question, okay? No question. But this energy is about proposing an idea, a suggestion, and so an offering to somebody regarding business, an offering to somebody regarding some sort of lawsuit, some sort of legal settlement, trying to negotiate. There's a lot of negotiation. And the thing is here, when we have Mercury in Aries, Mercury is all about communication. Mercury rules Gemini, communication, and Virgo, which is about problem solving. Okay, so we have that mercurial energy in that 7th house of partnership in Aries. Aries is the youngest, fieriest sign, right? Aries is all fire. It's very, come on, fresh path, new perspective. We're going to do things differently this time. So you want to be careful that you are assertive and not aggressive, right? That you are, you want to make sure you think things through. Try not to yell, scream, react off the cuff of anything. And I know that's so hard when you're in something that seems like almost like energetically holding you back, right? And not that you were going and like screaming at your boss or anything like that. Whatever the situation is, you want to understand you have a lot of energy in the 7th house right now. Be mindful of that and respect that, and try your very, very best to try to stay focused on that. The energy external to you, we have the Princess of Coins, and this is really about hard work, right? You're very surrounded by hard work. But you know, this is a person, this is somebody who's really focused on working hard, very reliable, very strong potential for success. But this is about your talent shining. You know, this is about progress and very auspicious beginning regarding finance, business, maybe even an offer made on a property if you're trying to sell your home, or if you're trying to sell your business or a project or something like that. Really, really good energy. Now, this is coming from outside to you. So because there's this offer coming from the outside to you and you're the Knight of Cups offering, I see some negotiation going on here, Libra. There's some sort of negotiation going on here. Trying to temper a situation perhaps, or just trying to figure out. So, just as I said temper, I look down and I see temperance as your challenge right here. So yeah, I mean, this is an alchemical energy, you know, understanding what you need, what somebody else needs, and what the situation needs. And this is your challenge though right now. So this can indicate feeling like a victim, feeling like you've been betrayed, dealing with selfishness. Somebody may be feeling you're selfish. You may be feeling somebody else is being selfish. But it is this idea where you feel like you can't fully temper the situation. You might be dealing with somebody who's just like very dug in, you know, the very dug in to either how they think things should roll out as far as finances go, how they think things should roll out as far as that project, that job, whatever it is. So this could be anybody from a landlord to a boss to a partner, a marriage partner, business partner, whatever. So that's your challenge though. Your challenge is kind of like chilling somebody the hell down, right? For you to be able to deal with a situation in a very productive manner. Right? Productive, right? It's all about being productive right now. Now, in the near future, we do have the 8 of Coins. I like this, you know. I mean, 8 is the number of mastery, being very diligent, very logical, focusing on responsibilities in a very diligent and hardworking way. Money or connection is on its way as a result of previous effort. So maybe you've been doing the right thing. Maybe you've been reaching out to people, right? Whatever it is. But there is this furthering of your skill set, this furthering, and if it doesn't have to do with your career, it's being able to progress something forward, right? So like getting that deal on the house, or somebody giving you an offer, and then you finding some sort of other deal or something like that. Again, it has to do with logical and diligent approach. Being able to master something, really figuring something out. So I feel like if you've been having a really hard time, I'm just thinking, because the temperance energy, I'm just feeling this energy of you having a hard time with a particular person right now when it comes to money. Whether it's a husband, a live-in partner, a business partner, a group that you work for or with, some sort of legal situation. I feel like there is like a particular person that you are having a hard time with. And in the 8 of Coins, Because 8 is mastery, and it's not only about pentacles, though. It's mental, physical, emotional connection. You are mastering how this person has to be approached. It's like you're figuring things out and you're strategizing. You're really focused on this 10 of coins energy. I don't blame you, right? This is about family and you know, focusing on what you need. The maturity. Maturity really here has to do with the maturity of your bank account, maturity of money, you know? And really being in this space of, this is like being in business with energy. This is property, legacy, inheritance, this idea of sharing, this idea of figuring things out. So I feel like there is this energy of thinking about either selling a business, buying a business, selling a home, buying a home, something to do with where there's this exchange of money. Some of you may be dealing with some sort of legal issue as well regarding property or a lease that you're addressing right now as well. So some sort of something having to master this idea of that, because that would be a 10 of coins energy as well, but you needing to figure something out in that way. So I see you moving forward. Think about where it is that you're going, though, right? This makes sense to me for sure with the Imagine card, because you have to know where it is that you want to go in order to strategize effectively. Because I almost feel like, and I don't want you to get the wrong idea here. I'm not even suggesting that you're being like manipulative or malicious. It's like you're playing something smart. There's a big difference. You're playing something smart. Let me just pull one more energy. 7 of Cups, choices and confusion. There is this idea of commitment issues, not sure what's real, not sure what's not, things being up in the air. You're really going to have to pay attention to your instincts here, because somebody that you're dealing with is having a very hard time fully committing to something. Sitting down and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's sign on the dotted line. Somebody is really holding very fast to the way that they think something needs to be, and this could be a challenging energy for the first week of April. I could hear some of you from here. You're like, woman, this has been going on for a while. Well, maybe it has been, but Mercury in Aries is throwing a different layer on top of things, because your voice is going to be very clear. Where if you've been feeling like your voice hasn't been, it's sort of been like dying out as soon as it like reaches the air. It's not going to be that way right now. Communication is going to be very important, but only if you handle it the right way. Mercury in Aries, I mean, it's a very strong energy here. Absolutely. So that's what I have for your work situation. Now let's go into relationship. First Celtic cross spread I'm going to be pulling is for you. So again, lots of focus on that 7th house of relationship. We also have Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius in your 5th house of falling in love and romance. So, you know, for a lot of you, many of you may be in a relationship or a situation or some sort of energetic connection where either you feel like you can't be together right now, you can't be together yet. There's some sort of Saturnian wait, not yet, right? Because Saturn's in there, but Jupiter's in there, making you feel very attracted to the person, feeling like this is all very serendipitous, it's very destiny driven. That's what Jupiter does. But Saturn's like, not yet, wait. Restriction, structure, right, in your area of falling in love and romance. Like there's something else that needs tending to. And we have Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house, and that's where you show up as a we in relationship. So your relationship houses are for sure getting a lot of attention right now. Absolutely. Now I want to mention we have Mars and the North Node in Gemini. Very restless kind of energy, but very fated. Whenever the North Node triggers a house, it's something very destiny driven happens, whether it's a person comes across your path or some sort of situation happens. And this is the thing, it's happening in the 9th house. And the 9th house has to do with, yes, it has to do with higher education and your belief system and all of that stuff, but it's also negotiations, it's in-laws, it's trying to, again, negotiate some sort of situation. So if you're in a position right now with an ex, or with even with the situation that you're in right now, where there's negotiation that's very necessary, the fact that you have Mars and the North Node in there You're going to be making yourself very, very heard. You really are. Even though, and there is going to be the sextile between the 7th and the 9th house. I do think it's going to ultimately end up going in your favor if you play your cards right. And what I mean by that is try not to lose your, your patience and your temper, even though you're going to feel very, very tempted to. Just because, like, it's just part of that being human thing. When people are like, oh, calm down. Well, yeah, walk a mile in my shoes and then tell me to calm down. You know what I mean? I'm always very mindful of that. I don't want you to think I'm like tone deaf to like the challenges in relationships, but there are certain times where you really have to play your cards right. And sometimes the more quiet you are and the more like let somebody else speak, kind of bringing the situation to you. We're talking some basic business strategy and relationship, believe it or not. All right, so coming into this, we have the 8 of Swords, yeah. I mean, there's stuff going on here. You're feeling very limited. You're feeling very trapped, thinking things will likely never improve. And that feeling, how does feeling trapped not incite anxiety? Of course it does. That's just part, right? So this can create challenges in your concentration because you feel like you just don't belong in a situation anymore. Situation that very, very strongly resonated with you at one point in your life doesn't feel right anymore. But this is the thing. You might have to, in order to pull yourself out of something, you might have to swallow your pride a little bit. I could hear you from here. Hell no. Or, wait and see what goes on. You might have to. This is an energy, like, because you've been feeling this for a minute, right? Because this is leading into this. Now we have the Death card and we have the 10 of Wands. Okay, here we go. The Death card does indicate an ending of a relationship, or at least an ending to the way it was. If you guys are ever going to find your footing later on, there needs to be a break for some breathing room and for some reflection and for some, I say healing, but for some healing. I mean, it truly is that kind of energy, If you feel like it's worth going back to, and only if. Otherwise, it could indicate an ending of something. Remember, the Death energy is Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It's about endings and beginnings. Something ending, it's about, destruction and then construction. In some cases, it's reconstruction, right? It depends on your situation. You have this working with the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is the card of overwhelm. Overwhelm. Responsibilities and burden. You're just overloaded with demands, and there's so much on your mind. Libra, my goodness, it's like there's a weight in between your ears. There's just so much going on. Now, this doesn't only have to do with your relationship, though I feel like this could possibly be the core of the circumstance for a great many of you who are resonating with this. But it's just this weight. Now, it could be a lot of emotional weight, psychological weight, in addition to just being really busy with your day, working a lot, dealing with kids, dealing with family, dealing with whatever, other things in life. So we have you as the crowning. Go you. Yeah. Justice energy is you. This is Justice is a Libra energy, 7th house of partnerships. This is where it's, the bulk. I'm not going to say all the energies is focused, but a good majority. Again, Mercury and Aries, Sun, Venus, Chiron, all in that 7th house. So here really is about checking in with yourself, for sure, making sure that your emotional needs are being met, because balance and fairness are really, really important to look at right now. Right? You guys are ruled by Venus. This is a Venusian energy. Venus wants us to feel good about being in something. And she values things that are equitable and situations that are loving. So if you're dealing with a situation where you're being spoken down to, where you're dealing with somebody who is narcissistic or is just being narcissism is sort of the umbrella term for somebody who's just very egocentric and just unkind. And you, because you're very forgiving, you are. I mean, you and the air signs in general are very, very forgiving, but, I digress. You don't like confrontation, just the archetype. Again, I don't know what else is in your chart, but Libra, the archetype, really is not a fan of confrontation, because it's like, can't everybody get along? You get the scales out. And so, but no, like now you're looking at like where you kept your I'm not even going to say, because you will argue, right, for your rights and everything, but it's almost like, again, you're screaming into the wind and it's not being heard. Now you're going to be heard. You're going to be heard with Mercury in Aries. Queen of Wands, stepping into your power. That's it. Ideas are going to be popping. I mean, you're going to have a strength that you haven't had. It's a different kind of strength. I'm not suggesting that Libras aren't strong, because I actually think Libras are quite strong. But this is a different kind of strength. This is the kind of strength that's going to ignore the need for balance, ignore the need for other than your own. You're just not going to let people get away with anything having to do with a relationship right now. It's just not going to happen. It's like you've reached your limit. Look, I mean, you're a cardinal sign. Keeping it real, like the cardinal signs have gone through a lot, and I feel like I just love this Mercury and Aries energy in the 7th house for you, because your voice is going to become 10 times louder. And I mean that metaphorically, meaning your words are going to have a lot more weight than they've had. Play it smart though, my friend, honestly. The screaming, yelling, if you're prone to that, a lot of us are. Don't beat yourself up if you are. Don't go that route. It's not worth it. Go quiet. Go the opposite. It's going to make them unsettled. It's going to make them nervous. Something is going on here that's requiring this sort of stepping back. But I feel like you're dealing with an energy that still wants to come back and engage in some sort of way, whether it's literally or passive aggressively. Don't give in. Like, don't even pacify them. Just sit back and stay quiet and plan. We have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah. This is just, this is you right now. This is you. Fire up your ambition. I mean, that's seriously what this is about. Something's going to be happening here. Events are going to be speeding up. Blocks are going to be lifted. Decisions coming in right now that you've been waiting for to move forward in are going to be happening. And what I like about this is you're going to be playing it smart. Right, Libra? You're going to play it smart. Don't get sucked into their crazy. Don't try to figure out their MO. Don't try to figure them out. You can't figure out somebody else's stuff. You can't. You can only understand that this is the situation that you're dealing with, and okay, how do I get out of this? Sitting back on your heels a little bit and saying, all right, let them do most of the talking, you know what I mean? King of Coins, this is an energy that's external to you, that's influencing you, and this is somebody who's fighting you tooth and nail because they think that you're looking to take what's theirs. And you're just not going to have it. No, not with the Knight of Wands. You are like ready. You're ready to fight somebody. I haven't gotten a reading for you like this, and I don't know, ever. Like, you could care less about the scales right now. You don't care. You are sick and tired of being cross watchers. So sorry. This is a very strong reading that I'm getting. So if you're not resonating with this, maybe I get you next time. This is not your reading. This is for a good group of people out here, because I wouldn't be getting it this strong. 100%. Somebody thinks that you're trying to manipulate a particular situation in a way where they think that you want something that's unjust or unfair, which in your mind, you know, that is just not based in reality. I feel like that. And I'm not saying that because I'm speaking to you. You guys know I'm pretty straight with you guys. So your challenge here is the Nine of Swords energy. So yeah, I mean, look, Nine of Swords is anxiety, overwhelm, worry, trouble sleeping. A lot of you guys might be struggling with depression. You're just not responding well to external stress because, very simply, in a nutshell, your way directly out of something is not clear right now. Right now, it's not clear. So, and this is creating a lot of anxiety. So it's you don't have full clarity, and at the same time you have somebody. I do feel like you're dealing with a very manipulative energy. We have the King of Cups in the near future, and the King of Cups really is understanding that a need exists to settle this conflict. either within yourself or with somebody else, or maybe both, right? And you again, another energy of lack of clarity. You're just not sure how to handle it. You have to go with your heart. You really do. You have to go with your heart. Now, I do want to say that some of you, if you are transitioning out of a relationship, you may be dealing with somebody who's very sensitive, who's very charismatic. Maybe, this is a Libra and Scorpio energy. So, very sensitive energy. So maybe some sort of scorpionic energy here where they have heavy Scorpio in their chart. Not afraid of intimacy. So I feel like this, for many of you, if you're transitioning out of something, there is this other energy that's showing up here for me, for some of you, that's very sensitive, right? But there is this need to settle some sort of conflict. Now, what we have is the final outcome energy, the Five of Swords. So whenever 5 is the number of conflict, it's the number of humanity, and we have swords. So there's definitely a clash of desires and reality here. What you really want is not squaring well with your reality. So there's this tension and this ongoing conflict that you're not going to win. You're not going to win this round. That doesn't mean that you tuck your tail between your legs and go off into the corner. No. This is the thing. You can't mitigate what's going on with this individual. All right? You can't, because this energy is so dug in. You can't win it because you can't mitigate what their deal is. Better to walk away with grace, deal with your anger and disappointment, right? You can't fix the unfixable, and then you try a different approach. Some of you, time to lawyer up. Others of you, it's time, maybe just a mediator, but I'm not feeling like a mediator would even be okay with this particular situation. It does seem like honestly, like either a legal situation or you just stepping back and just saying like, you know what, do you, whatever it is, but you are not going to win this. I see you arguing in a very, I'm hoping, relatively controlled way, very matter of fact. Stick with the facts, stick with what's right. If they're pressuring you too much in one way or the other, either give it some space to breathe or lawyer up. I don't know. Page of Swords, look at this. Useful information coming in, you getting some help. This is help coming in, which is going to be good for you regarding some sort of agreement, contract, something like that. Two of Cups, let me just pull one more. The Hierophant, let me just pull one more. And the Six of Coins. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups energy. The Two of Cups is mutually supportive energy, right? If things are difficult, harmony returning. They're you being able to find a higher road in a particular situation. Now we have the Hierophant. So the Hierophant energy is a marriage energy. It has to do with committed partnership. It has to do with celebrating the sacred in the relationship. It has to do with convention and it's about tradition and direction and connection and expectations and conforming to the way that something is supposed to be. So, and then we have the Six of Coins. I have your back, you have mine. There being the settling of some sort of support given, okay, having to do with property or having to do with the connection within the relationship, because coins is also mental, physical, and emotional connection. So it's sort of having each other's back. So I have to tell you what I feel like. For those of you who are in a situation where you're leaving a relationship, I see there being a calmer waters ahead, although you may need to end up, and this is only going to resonate with some of you, I'm sorry I'm getting too specific a read, legal counsel. Or someone external to come in and help out. But I do, because I see some help coming in. And once the help comes in, then there could be some meeting of the minds, okay? What's expected. The Hierophant energy, while it is a marriage card, it's not only the marriage card, it's about conforming to given expectations based on the reality of the situation. And the Six of Coins is being fair. There's this balance having to do with connection, having to do with finances, and there being healing. So it looks like a very good turnout ultimately once somebody comes in to help you guys out. Those of you who are not in that space, this Page of Swords could certainly be a therapist, but it does seem like there needs to be some sort of external intervention. And I don't know what that means for you. You know, self-help something, or couples counseling, some sort of legal intervention, whatever. All right, you're all going to be dealing with this in a different way. Let's see what's going on with them. Let's pull some energies for Libra's person. Immature. Immature. So you guys don't have to be married, but I feel like whoever's resonating with this was if not married, in a very committed relationship, right? Coming into this energy is what we have for them. We have the Page of Wands in the reverse. So this is very immature energy, very mature. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, they could have a wandering eye. It doesn't have to be, they could just be very immature, right? Really can. We have this working with the Two of Cups. This is being crossed by the Two of Cups. This is a challenge. This is a challenge for them. They're immature. So they're having a really hard time having any sort of positive energy and as far as healing goes, right? Because the Two of Cups is about, really, if things are difficult, harmony returning, right? But this is crossing them because they're immature. It's like they want their way, like, damn it, you know, like stomping their feet kind of thing. We have the Six of Swords as the crowning energy. Then this is about moving away from something, moving on, right? Detaching, at least taking a break from the relationship, right? But this allows some space to do some internal work. Some of them might even be going on a little trip, like, that's it, I'm out of here, going on vacation, going to do some, you know, work on self, whatever it is, but it's moving away from the situation. Could be literal travel or just this element of detachment. We have the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is the foundation energy, obstacles, right? And this could be like very challenging for them right now, right? And they're in this space where they feel like they need to fight for the relationship temporarily. They feel like they have to stand up for themselves or to their partner. There is an element of like feeling very defensive about things right now. And they're not going to feel like you're trying to work with them. And I feel like that's making you laugh a little bit right now. But that's what I'm getting that they feel like. I feel like they feel like you're not working with them. And I'm not saying this again because I'm speaking to you. The Page of Wands in reverse is a very immature energy. So I feel like they lack the emotional intelligence to really process something in a very, I'm not saying that they're not smart, but I don't feel like they have the emotional intelligence to process a sensible situation here. Two of Wands, this is in their space, right? This is representing them right now. So for them, this is, listen, some of you might be dealing with an energy where if things are not good between the two of you, them meeting somebody new through work or friends could be, but this is about planning and moving forward, right? I mean, really 100%, but there's two aspects to a situation and they're trying to figure out what's best for them. This could be the kind of thing where, should I stay and continue to try to work it out? Should I go and be on my own? Should I stay in this? Should I go with that person? It doesn't necessarily mean that there is another person, but there can be. This is a general message, so I have to just put it out there. But they're very confused and they need to make a decision. They have to figure out what is the best thing for them. That's where they're at right now. Now, the energy external to them that's impacting them is the Queen of Swords. Very, very motivated to find the truth in the psychological motivations of others, right? This is a very strong energy. This could be a single parent. This is somebody who's very strong in the face of adversity. So this definitely could be you. You don't have to have any kids. I'm just saying that that's one interpretation of it. But somebody external to them is being very determined, standing very strong, and it's impacting them. And it's making them feel like, okay, do I even Is staying in this really even an option for me anymore, given everything? Their challenge is the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups is loss and leaving. Like there's something that they're not fully ready to leave with you, whether it's just a relationship, whether it's a marriage, whatever it is. But it's like they might talk a big talk, they might, talk a big game, whatever, as the saying is, but they're not fully ready for it. They're going to be able to deal with it and they're going to be fine, right? But they're feeling this sense of loss. They're feeling a sense of sadness. They are, And then we have the Chariot energy. So the Chariot, we have to pull some cards here, right? Because this is a relationship situation being expedited. So if the cards are positive around it, then it's going to be moving away from something negative. If it's positive, then it'll be positive, right? If the cards around it are negative, then chances are that the relationship is likely ending because it's ultimately really not very good for you, right? So what's right before it is the Five of Cups. It's a challenging energy for sure. So right there, but let me pull another one here. King of Swords. King of Swords is a very not feeling a thing, staying very in the mental, very in the mental. So the sadness, and there's not allowing the heart to even enter the equation here. Just not. Focusing on the mind and what makes sense for them right now. Now we have the Emperor energy. Some of you might be dealing with an Aries. Emperor is an Aries energy. So some of you may be just, because this could be them, right? As I'm saying, if you're dealing with an Aries energy. But this is them being very focused on being the leader in their own life, if that makes sense, right? I mean, because this is very much a leadership vibe, doing what they want to do because they want to do it. That really is the Emperor energy. It's Aries. It's the first sign. So it's a lot of ideas, feeling very confident. I can do it. I'm going to go off on a new path. I'm going to do it. But they really have no idea what the other side of that looks like. And it's not because of anything other than they're being, I feel like, rather reactive regarding a situation. Yeah, that is what I'm feeling right now. Let me pull a Wisdom of the Oracle card for this. Here and now. I don't feel like they're doing anything. I feel like a lot of you might be dealing with an energy who's trying to protract the situation, who's doing everything to avoid something ending, right? Because we have this Five of Cups here, and this is the challenge. So they're trying to just live in the moment and not look at the overarching bigger issues here. But they are focused on a new life. Yes, this is what I'm seeing here. I don't know, Libra. Thinking about a new life, but they're not doing anything to actually make something move forward. Let me just see something here. This is for the whole situation. Prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. Beautiful. And for you, conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Good. So I don't feel like things are going to be lasting for much longer in this sort of nebulous phase. Yeah, you guys are going to be communicating about the future, Aquarius. And then Jupiter, listen, Jupiter's at 9th house. 9th house has to do with belief system. Jupiter is the temperance energy, rules Sagittarius. So there's going to be some sort of meaning of the minds that's not too far off in the future. Just hang in there, be patient. And remember, don't be reactive, be responsive. There's a big difference, right? And don't beat yourself up if you mess that up a few times. But I feel like with the energy that I'm getting here, that is the strategy that's going to work best. So, okay, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.